Once again, 410 sprint cars, please make your way to staging right now for hot laps. We'll get things rocking and rolling. Here's the track crew, continues to do just a couple of last little tweaks before we get ready to go here tonight at the Jacksonville Speedway. Plenty of room in the grandstands tonight as we are working with a limited amount of seating sold available here in the Jacksonville Speedway. So of course we always ask you, keep a little extra distance between yourselves and your friends as we try to practice social distancing here at the Speedway. We do kindly ask you that if you make your way down toward the concourse area, if you have a mask and would be willing to wear it, we highly encourage you to do so. Kenny Dobson and the rest of the crew here at the Jacksonville Speedway working hard to keep us all safe and sound and be able to run our events. And that takes a little bit of help from everybody here in attendance tonight. Guys getting ready to rock and roll as we get ready to introduce you to flight number 1 of hot laps for the 410 sprint car class, 21 on the sheet tonight. Once again, we'll break it down into 3 heats of 7 for you here to kick off heat action later on this evening. First 7 are in the gate for the 410 sprint cars. We'll get you ready with flight number 1 of hot laps here tonight at the Jacksonville Speedway as we get ready to rock and roll on a beautiful Sunday evening here tonight. Heading through the midway, the white and pink 57, that's going to be George Crawford leading things off, followed by Springfield's Tyler Shoemaker piloting the 9T, making his way onto the track. The 63 tonight is Mitchell Davis, the bright yellow 63 of Mitchell Davis. Red Triplet pilots the 83, the red 83, making his way onto the front stretch, followed by the 51B. The 51B is Joe B. Miller. Terry Babb joins us tonight. He's in the bright white 47. And the number 3 car making his way onto the track as well, Austin Odell. Once again, 410 sprint cars. Our apologies, the 9T on the track is Dylan Tuxhorn. We have 2 9Ts for you tonight. Tyler Shoemaker's the other 9T. He's currently sitting back in staging, getting ready to go. The 9T on the track is Dylan Tuxhorn. We'll try to keep all the numbers straight for you as we make our way through the evening. Once again, 410 sprint cars, you need to be reporting to staging now, please. 410 sprints, you need to be reporting to staging now as we get ready to push off here for flight number 1 of hot laps tonight and get things moving here at the Jacksonville Speedway. The signal to push comes from the radio tower. Cars in motion here tonight at the Jacksonville Speedway as we get ready to rock and roll. 4 classes of dirt track racing coming your way here tonight. So glad to have you alongside, whether you are watching here in the stands or watching alongside on YouTube. Be sure to leave us a comment letting us know where you're watching from as Tommy Cook mans the camera tonight. The ever-talented Tommy Cook, what can't he do? He'll announce NOAA sprint cars for you. He'll run a camera. He'll may even make you a quiche in the morning if you're hungry. Good old Tommy Cook. Once again, remaining 410 sprint car drivers, you need to be making your way to staging now, please. Remaining 410 sprint cars, you need to be making your way to staging now. 1 wraps up here in the 410 sprint car class. Joe B. Miller with the fastest time there in hot laps with a time of 11.126 seconds. Brett Triplett, Austin Odell, Dylan Tuxhorn, Terry Babb, George Crawford, Mitchell Davis, the remaining running order. The fastest laps there in flight number 1 here in the 410 sprint cars. We're going to get ready to push off flight number 2 for you. Remaining 410 drivers, you need to be in staging now. Street stock cars, you need to be making your way to staging, please. Street stock drivers, you need to be suiting up and making your way to staging now. There's the 9T of Tyler Shoemaker, which we announced once before, but he'll come out again. The 9T out of Springfield, Illinois, followed by the 99W. The 99W, that is Corey Wynant, also out of Springfield, followed up by the black and blue 31, driven tonight by Zach Dong. Back on the front stretch, the 42P, ladies and gentlemen, the 42P is Preston Parameter. Hoping we're pronouncing that right. Somebody will tell us if we get it wrong, followed by the 79J of Jacob Patton, and the 27, driven tonight by Tucker Klossmeyer. Last car coming out here in flight number 2 is the 10S. That is Jeremy Standridge sitting right in front of you on the grandstand side. Last call for 410 sprint cars. You need to be in staging now, followed by street stock drivers. You can begin making your way for hot laps now, please. Command to push comes from Randy Standridge here in the race towers. We get ready to rock and roll for flight number 2 of hot laps in the 410 sprint car class. Once again, welcome to the Jacksonville Speedway. So very privileged to have you here on a Sunday night in August. We have not got to spend a lot of time with you here this summer, but we're so happy to be spending tonight with you and glad you have chosen to spend your hard-earned dollars and well-earned time with us tonight. Once again, street stocks, you need to be making your way to staging now for hot laps. Street stock drivers, you need to be making your ways up now for hot lap staging, please. As we get ready for flight number 2 here in the 410 sprint cars. Once again, street stock drivers, we will run you in 1 flight for hot laps tonight. So modified drivers, you need to keep an ear out. We'll be ready for qualifying and hot laps for you sooner than later this evening. That wraps up flight number 2 for hot laps here tonight.
What we got here? Oh, 99, 41, 42, 55. Did they hit under yellow or they didn't hit it all the whole time? Okay.
Fastest driver appears to be the 27 of Tucker Klossmeyer, posting a time of 10.939 seconds. Here in flight number 2, once again. Last flight coming up for the 410 sprint car. Street stock drivers, you need to be in staging now if you are not here already. Modified drivers, keep an ear open. We're going to be ready for you sooner than later. Just 1 flight of street stock hot laps to come for you tonight. So we'll be ready for modified qualifying and hot laps here very shortly. Let's go down to the rundown of the remaining cars here in the 410 sprint car class tonight. First off, the 77U is Chris Urish leading things out in the backstretch, followed by the 52F. The 52F of Logan Foggett. The 17 of Robbie Standridge makes his way into turn number 3, followed by Paul Nienheiser joining us tonight, piloting the 9X back on the backstretch. Paul Nienheiser in the 9X out of Chapin, Illinois. Over in turn number 1 is the 01. The 01 tonight, driven by Justin Standridge. And right here in front of us on the grandstand side, the 42 car. The bright 42 driven tonight by Corey Bruns of the 6R. Last car making way on the track, the 6R of Ryan Bunton. Cars in motion here for flight number 3 of Hot Laps tonight in the 410 sprint car class. Last call for street stock drivers to make your way for staging tonight. Last call for street stock drivers. But once again, modified cars. We will be ready for qualifying and hot laps for you right afterwards. Just one flight of street stock cars to make their way out for hot laps. So modified drivers, make your way to staging here very, very shortly for qualifying and hot laps. A little bit of smoke coming out of the back end of that 6R of Bunton, coming around on the last turn there in the last lap of hot laps. But we'll get things cleared off.
Ready for a couple more?
Cars clearing off here in the 410 sprint car class. You'll see 3 heats of action here coming up to kick things off at the Jacksonville Speedway tonight as we get ready for street stock hot laps. Once again, modified drivers, you need to be in staging, please, for qualifying and hot laps. Modified drivers, we need you up in staging now, please, for qualifying and hot laps. Let's introduce you to all of our cars making their way on for street stocks tonight. 8 on the sheet. We'll bring you 1 heat later on this evening, and then they will lead off feature action tonight. The 25G of Andy Gaines makes his way out to the track first, followed by the birthday boy, ladies and gentlemen. It's the 89, the smooth criminal of Mike Jackson, coming into turn number 1. He's followed by the man out of Cerro Gordo, Illinois, the 5T. The defending Jacksonville Speedway champion is Terry Reed, driving the white 5T, and he's followed by Chet Peak and the bright white and blue 72C. Rudy Zaragoza is up next. He's in the 67R out of Jacksonville, Illinois, and the 22G is Steve Roach. Rounding out the field is the 47, that is Thomas Angelo. Once again, modified drivers, you need to make your way to staging out for qualifying and hot laps, please. Modified drivers, you need to make your way to staging now for qualifying and hot laps. Last week's race winner was Robert Cottom here at the Jacksonville Speedway. We do not see him in attendance tonight. And we'll bring out our first caution of the evening as Andy Gaines having a little bit of trouble getting up to speed in the 25G. Coming around turns 3 and 4, you can hear that engine stall a little bit. Now he starts to pick things up and he'll make his way back to the pit area. And we'll get things back to green and round out hot laps. Once again, modified drivers, you need to make your way to staging now, please. Modified drivers, make your way to staging for hot laps and qualifying. Caution flags come out here. Steve Noach in the 22G has trouble over in turn number 2, and Bubba Painter gets right behind him to help get him pushed off. But once again, modified drivers, you need to be making your way for staging. Now please, modified drivers to staging. More trouble for the 22G of Steve Noach. There's a lot of mosquito repellent coming out of the engine cab of that car now. Fire and rescue guys going over to make. Once again, getting things ready to rock and roll here for the modifieds. Qualifying and hot laps coming up for our modified cars tonight. 15 cars on the sheet tonight for the modified class. 2 qualifying groups here tonight for a field of 15. What an exciting run of modifieds we had last week as Mike Harrison was able to steal a win in the last waning laps of the race with a nifty little move through lap traffic, as he was able to pick up the lead position in the last 2 to 3 laps and hold on for the win. And what was a loaded field of modifieds last week, and we've got another great run of mods for you here tonight. Flight number 1 of group number 1 in qualifying here is led off by the 9C of Russ Coltis, followed by the 37. That's Derek Carlson in the bright blue and green 37. Last car scheduled to come out for flight number 1 of group number 1 is Joe Straukas in the 28. As we are getting our guys lined up in formation in the modified class. Russ Coltis, Derek Carlson, Joe Straukas. Our first 3 of 15 to qualify here tonight at the Jacksonville Speedway in the Dirt Car UMP modified class. Micros is still to run hot laps later tonight. Then we'll do a little bit of track prep and get things ready for opening ceremonies. Carlson with the fast lap of the first 3 cars tonight, 13.397 seconds for the 37, followed by Russ Coltis with a time of 13.727, and Joe Straukas rounds out the field of 3 with a time of 13.860. Carlson, Coltis, and Straukas, your running order here in group number 1 so far after 1 flight. Brian Divler leads things off for flight number 2 in Group 1. He's in the 11D car, followed by the T6, ladies and gentlemen, the T6. That's Tommy Shepard. Rounding out flight number 2 is the 4A, the bright white 4A of Mike Parson. A couple of cars left after this in Group number 1. And then we'll bring things into Group number 2. Dively grabs the fastest lap, and the fastest lap so far in group number 1 with a time of 13.197. Tommy Shepard jumps up to the second spot in a time of 13.334. Mike Parson moves into 4th with a time of 13.704. Dively, Shepard, Carlson, Parson, Coltis, and Straukas, your running order as we make our way into the last flight for group number 1. The last 2 cars on the sheet for group number 1. First is the 15. That is Mr. Guy Taylor. And rounding out group number 1, the number 9, ladies and gentlemen, along Jacksonville Speedway, welcome to Mr. Kenny Schrader. Kenny Schrader grabs the 4th fastest time in group number 1 with a time of 13.545 seconds. Guy Taylor finishes in 7th with a time of 13.844. Your qualifying for group number 1 runs down like this: Brian Dively, Tommy Shepard, Derek Carlson, Kenny Schrader, Mike Parson, Russ Coltis, Guy Taylor, and Joe Straukas. Your fastest from 1st to 8th here in group number 1. Let's get ready to bring you group number 2. 7 cars in group number 2. The plan is to run 3, 2, and 2. Here in group number 2. They are led off by Mr. Smooth, Steve Tybin, leading things off in the 36. He is followed by the ONE, the 1 car, spelled out ONE, that is Jason Perry. And last but not least, Jeff Ray qualifies in the 78 machine. Micros drivers, you need to begin making your way to staging, please. Micros drivers, please begin making your way to staging for hot laps. Jason Perry grabs the fastest lap here in flight number 1 of group number 2, a time of 13.538 seconds, followed by Jeff Ray in the 78 with 13.659. Steve Tybin rounds out the field of 3 with a time of 13.827. Perry, Ray, and Tybin, the running order here after 1 flight in group number 2. Ladies and gentlemen, Kenny Wallace back at the Jacksonville Speedway tonight. He pilots the white 36 machine. Following him out for qualifying, the 22 is Ryan Latham. Once again, micro drivers, you need to be in staging for hot laps, please. Micros drivers, you need to be in staging for hot laps. Kenny Wallace jumps up to grab the fast lap here in group number 2 with a time of 13.260 seconds. Ryan Blakeman jumps up to 2nd in the group with a time of 13.301. Wallace, Blakeman, Perry, Ray, and Tybin, your running order. The last 2 cars to qualify here in the modified class tonight. From Liberty, Illinois, the 05 is Dave Weegover, and the 25W is Alan Weiser.
Were you able to get all you need?
Alan Weiser jumps up and grabs the fastest lap here in group number 2, a time of 13.168. Dave Whiteholder finishes in 4th with a time of 13.372. You're qualifying for group number 2, Alan Weiser, Kenny Wallace, Ryan Blakeman, Dave Whiteholder, Jason Perry, Jeff Ray, and Steve Tyvett. Your running order from 1st to 7th. Ready to rock and roll here. Micros, hot laps coming up for you at the Jacksonville Speedway. Last class to run hot laps tonight. Then we'll do a little bit of track prep and get ready for opening ceremonies and 410 sprint cars to kick things off here at the Jacksonville Speedway. Well, let's introduce you to our micros tonight. 12 cars on the sheet. We'll bring them to you in 2 heats of 6. The 8B leading things off is John Bernard, followed by the 55S. That is Darren Stark. The 66 is Kevin Powell, followed by the 10 car. That is Jacob Tipton. The red 6 is Cliff Powell. And the bright white 44, the 2-time defending Micros champion here at the Jacksonville Speedway, Brevin Littleton. That'll wrap things up for us here in flight number 1 of the Micros class. The last 6 cars coming out here tonight for the Micros. We'll have about 7 minutes is what we're being told for track prep time. And as we'll do that, we'll ask our 410 sprints to begin making their way up to staging as we get ready for the last flight here of cars tonight. The 55H is Hayden Harvey leading things off, followed by the 1 car, the A1 of Aaron Squires. The 122 is Lane Warner, followed by the 3, that's Johnny Huddleston. Last 2 cars to make their way on the track tonight, the 09 is Ed Baker, and the 44S is Jacob Stewart. Caution slows the cars down for the 122. The 122 of Lane Warner. Bubba Painter sprinting around to get things pushed back off of the 122, and we'll get back to rounding out this last flight of hot laps tonight. Once again, you'll have just a few minutes in between hot laps and opening ceremonies to get things go. Get yourself something hot to eat and cold to drink. Of course, if you're making your way down to the concourse and grandstand area, we always ask you to make sure you keep a couple of extra steps between yourself and your friends here tonight if you're making yourself down to get something out of that concession or bar area. wrap things up for hot laps here tonight at the Jacksonville Speedway. We're going to let Tommy and the guys make their way onto the track to get things ready to rock and roll. Just a little bit of track prep tonight. 7-8 minutes is all we'll need. We'll get ready. We'll get ready for opening ceremonies after that. Adam Mackey says, let's get the 410 sprints up to staging for heat number 1. Once again, 410 sprint cars for heat number 1. You can make your way up to staging now as we'll get ready to go in just a few minutes. Once again, we thank you for joining us tonight here at the Jacksonville Speedway. Happy to have you all along with us tonight, as we are limiting the number of fans in attendance here this season at the Jacksonville Speedway, working hard with local area health department officials and all of our other local organizations to ensure that we safely operate. And once again, as we get ready, we invite you to join us online at Facebook, at Twitter. Find us on Jacksonville Speedway, or of course, we're always online at jacksonvillespeedway.com, giving you the latest information we have about schedules, what classes we'll be running, and a whole lot more. As every week is a work in progress this season. Trying to get everyone some time this season. First run of the season for the micros this year. We have seen NOAA sprint cars here this season. We've also seen the modifieds and the street stocks first run this season. For the micros, we have not yet seen Hornets or 310 sprints this season. Saw late models also here a couple of weeks ago at Jacksonville Speedway. Once again, 410 sprint cars, you need to be making your way to staging for heats, please. 410 sprint cars, you need to be making your way to staging now for heats, please. A little bit warm, but not intolerable here at the Jacksonville Speedway tonight. Expected weather here in the early August. Part of the dog days of summer. It feels like summer has been with us for quite a long while. But eventually the temperatures will turn to cooler here as the weeks wane on. Once again, 410 sprint cars, make your way to staging for heats, please. 410 sprint cars, make your way to staging for heats. We will be wrapping up with opening ceremonies here in just a few minutes, and we'll be ready for heat action. Once again, heats the same as hot laps. Sprint cars, street stocks, modified, and micros. Once again, getting ready to rock and roll. Track prep just about underway here at the Jacksonville Speedway. 410 sprints. You need to be making your way to staging now, please. 410 sprints to staging. happy birthday to Shelby Shelby Emmons out in the crowd tonight. A couple of big birthdays. Mike Jackson here driving tonight. Shelby Emmons out in the crowd. So happy to have you along with us, and I hope you have a wonderful birthday, Shelby. Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on tonight here at the Jacksonville Speedway? Oh, gosh. You guys are tired. It's been a long weekend. Let's try it again. Are you ready to race tonight, Jacksonville? Thank you so very much. My name is Brian Shoemaker on behalf of Kenny Dobson and the rest of the team here. We are so very happy, honored, and humbled to have you joining us tonight. We are very privileged to have you tonight as we are working very hard to keep you all safe, and you are doing the same to keep yourselves and everyone else around you safe. First and foremost, as we always do here at the Jacksonville Speedway, are there any current or former military members in the crowd? Please raise your hand if so. If you are raising your hand and you are able, please rise to your feet. If you are still seated, would you please clap louder for these men and women than you just did for me, for sacrificing their time away from themselves, their family, their friends, their loved ones, to keep this the greatest darn country in the world. Your sacrifice is never forgotten, ladies and gentlemen, here at the Jacksonville Speedway. I promise you that. Ladies and gentlemen, we're ready to bring you 4 classes of dirt track racing tonight, but first, the most important thing that we need to do every time here at the Jacksonville Speedway, if you are able, we kindly ask you to rise to your feet, remove all caps and coverings that you may be wearing, and face the American flag on the infield with your hand over your heart for tonight's playing of the Star-Spangled Banner. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, as we always thank them. Get locked and loaded. It is time to go racing here tonight at the Jacksonville Speedway. 3 heats of 410 sprint cars coming up for you tonight. 7 scheduled in each class. We'll hope all 7 make the call all 3 times, and we'll get ready to come back with a big feature at the end of the evening. 410 sprint cars, the first class of 4 tonight here, of course. Street stocks, modifieds, and micros round out our schedule for you this evening. We're so glad you're hanging along. If you're watching us along on YouTube, drop some comments. Let us know where you're watching, as we appreciate you tuning in as well. Tommy Cook and company manning the camera.
I didn't do it actually. I got over there and I spotted a phone 8 or 6 months ago. I don't have a 14 anymore, so I had to grab a kitty. I thought about it when I bought the phone 6 months ago.
Tonight, a non-sanctioned 410 sprint cars. We had the NOAA 410 sprints here just a few weeks ago. A very exciting run, as Rico Abreu was able to pick up the win. Paul Nienheiser was right in contention towards the end, had some issues, had to fall out of the pack and out of contention, and Rico held on for the big win. Well, let's introduce you to the field here in heat number 1 of the 410 sprint car class. George Crawford draws the pole pill. He drives the 57 starting off tonight. On the outside, starting second, that's the 31 of Zach Dahm. In row number 2, Brett Triplett starts third. He's in the 83 machine. Paired along him, the 51B of Joe B. Miller starting fourth. Springfield's Tyler Shoemaker starts fifth tonight. He's in the 9T, alongside Terry Babb starting sixth in the 47. Rounding out the 7-car field in heat number 1 is the 27. That is Tucker Klossmeyer. Crawford, Dahm, Triplett, Miller, Shoemaker, Babb, and Klossmeyer here in heat number 1 of 3 in the 410 sprint cars. Each heat scheduled for 10 laps. As we get ready to rock and roll, Randy Standridge manning the flags tonight, Justin McMurphy monitoring transponders and race receivers. Adam and Mike up here on race control in the middle of the tower. Hank Pollock manning the infield crew with Bubba Painter, Noah, Brock, and a whole bunch more. Fire and rescue here tonight, we'll get that word out one way or the other, along with Lifestar Paramedic Unit and a cast of dozens over on the grandstand side as we work to bring you some dirt track racing here on a beautiful Sunday evening. Brendan Bauman, multiple photographers here tonight as well. Once again, your running order: George Crawford, Zach Dahm, Brett Triplett, Joe B. Miller, Tyler Shoemaker, Terry Babb, and Tucker Klossmeyer here in heat number 1 as we get ready to go. Manual flags all the way around tonight, having a little bit of difficulty with our lighting system. So you'll see guys working yellow flags, red flags on the infield. Hopefully we don't see any of those reds tonight. But here we go. Heat number 1 is underway at the Jacksonville Speedway. 10 laps of running distance is the 31 of Zach Dahm, jumps out to the early lead, followed by the 51 of Joe B. Miller. The 47 of Terry Babb jumps into third, followed by the 57 of George Crawford. The 83 of Brett Triplett. The 27 of Tucker Klossmeyer, and the 90 of Tyler Shoemaker rounding out the field. Zach Dahm continuing to hold the lead. He's got about a 5-yard length distance ahead of Joe B. Miller. His tail is Terry Babb, trying to close the distance there on the back stretch as we come into turns 3 and 4. The 57 of George Crawford in fourth. A hot race for position 6, that's the 83. Brett Triplett, the 27 of Tucker Klossmeyer. Trouble for the 83 as he goes up into turn number 2, and Tucker Klossmeyer wins out without open position. Back to the race leader, that's Zach Dahm sprinting around to the back stretch. He's still got a commanding lead over the 51 team. 47 as we head to the back 2 turns. Back into the battle for 4th and 5th. It's Klossmeyer trying to make his way up ahead of George Crawford. He's going to win the position again. Klossmeyer makes his way from 7th to 5th. As now George Crawford jumps back into that 5th position. The 83 of Brett Triplett, 6 back in 6th. Back to the race leader, that's still Zach Dahm. He's led since turn number 2 of lap number 1. Coming around back to the start-finish line, it's going to be Dahm, the 51B of Joe B. Miller, and the 47 of Terry Babb as they come around turns 3 and 4. The 19 of Tyler Shoemaker made his way into the infield. We are down to 6 cars here in heat number 1. One lap to go here in heat number 1. Zach Dahm with a big lead as we come into the back stretch. Joe B. Miller looking to pick up second, followed by the 47 of Terry Babb. Checker flag flies for Zach Dahm in the 31 out of Pocahontas, Illinois. Joe B. Miller will pick up second place. The 47 of Terry Babb will round out in third. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner of heat number 1 in the 410 sprint cars. Let's hear it for the 31 of Zach Dahm. Joe B. Miller picks up a second place in the heat, followed by the 47 of Terry Babb. Tucker Klossmeyer finishes in 4th, followed by George Crawford, Brett Triplett, and Tyler Shoemaker in the field of 7. A little trouble for the 9T as this made their way to the infield, and they'll get him pushed back to the pit area. Heat number 2 of 3 coming up for you here in the 410 sprint car class. We'll call street stocks to staging here very shortly. Street stocks, just about time for you to make your way to staging. Running order for heat number 2. Logan Falcon leads the way. He's in the 52F, leading things off on the bullpill, paired alongside Jeremy Standridge. He'll be driving the 10S machine. In row number 2, Mitchell Davis starts third tonight on the inside. He's in the 63, paired alongside the 01 of Justin Standridge, starting 4th. Chris Urish starts 5th tonight on the inside of row number 3. That's the 77U car. Jacob Patton will start 6th beside him. He's in the 79J. Rounding out heat number 2 in the 7th spot is the 42P of Preston Perlmutter. Logan Falcon, Standridge, Davis, Standridge, Urish, Patton, and Perlmutter. Your field of 7 here in heat number 2, 10 laps, again, the scheduled driving distance. Heat number 3, you guys need to be in staging now for 410 sprints, followed by street stocks. Heat number 3 for the 410 sprints, followed by street stocks. We'll need you in staging next. A little bit of an earlier start here tonight at the Jacksonville Speedway. Sun slowly starting to set as it graces us over on the far side of the grandstand tonight. Makes things a little warm here in the scoring tower, but not too bad. Not too untolerable tonight. We hope you are staying shady and cool over on the grandstand side. If you are on the infield pit side, we hope you've got a good pair of sunglasses. Logan Falcon, Jeremy Standridge, Mitchell Davis, Justin Sandridge, Chris Urish, Jacob Patton, Preston Perlmutter. The running order here in heat number 2 of 3 for our sprint car class tonight at the Jacksonville Speedway. Falcon and Jeremy Standridge leading the field around turns 3 and 4 as we get ready to go green. Randy Standridge says we're going to give it another shot on the restart. Saw something he didn't like, and we'll get him lined back up one more time. Standridge leads around try number 2 here as we get ready to go green in heat number 2. Clean restart as Jeremy Standridge jumps out to the early lead. Logan Falcon trying to run him down, gets high in the cushion and busts off just a little bit. He's going to be battled now for the 63 of Mitchell Davis trying to get in row. He has a little bit of trouble going into turn 2, but still holds on to that third spot as the 77U of Chris Urish had a whole head of speed, but didn't have a line to get around Mitchell Davis. The 01 of Justin Sanders sits back in fifth, followed by the 79 of Jacob Patton and the 42 of Preston Perlmutter. We come back to the race leader. That is Jeremy Sanders. He crosses the start-finish line with 10X. Logan Falcon trying to hunt him down. The 52 have tried to make up the distance as he's sprinting through the back stretch. He's getting some steam and making a line for Sanders as we come back to the front line. Trouble over in turn number 77U of Chris Urish. He's been trying to get around that 63 of Mitchell Davis. He just has to have luck. But boy, it looks like he's got his sights set on the 63. The 79 of Jacob Patton remains back in fifth, followed by the 01 of Justin Sanders and the 42 of Preston Perlmutter. Logan Falcon still trying to hunt down Jeremy Sanders as we come back to the start-finish line. The 10S looking strong as he makes his way to the back stretch. Here comes Falcon trying to get some steam into that back stretch and make up the distance. Standridge goes high in the cushion, and so does Falcon. He bumps off the wall though in turn number 2. He's going to slow down just a little bit off the pace of Standridge. Mitchell Davis gives up the position there as he got high and out. He's going to go into the pits. That's going to leave room for Jacob Patton to jump up all the way to third. And Chris Urish falls back to fourth. The 01 of Justin Standridge remains in fifth, and the 42 of Preston Perlmutter moves up to sixth. White flag to go, 1 lap to go here for Jeremy Standridge in heat number 2. Logan Falcon remains in second. Here comes the rest of the running order. The 79J of Jacob Patton, the 77U of Chris Urish in third and fourth. But it's going to be a checkered flag win in heat number 2 for Jeremy Standridge. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner of heat number 2 in tonight's sprint car class, the 10S of Jeremy Standridge. Logan Falcon takes home second, followed by Jacob Patton, Chris Urish, Justin Standridge, Preston Perlmutter, and Mitchell Davis. Rounds out the field in seventh. Davis was holding on to that third spot, got caught up in the cushion in turns 3 and 4, and made his way back to the pits. Street stock cars, you need to be in staging now, please. Street stock drivers, you need to be in staging as we get ready to rock and roll for heat number 3 of the 410 sprint cars. Modifieds, we will be ready for you. Just one heat of street stocks tonight, so modified drivers, please be prepared and ready to go here sooner than later. Let's introduce you to the running order here in heat number 3. Leading things off is going to be the 42 of Corey Bruns, leading things off in heat number 3. Starting second to 9 to the outside of row number 1, that's the 17 of Robbie Standridge. Springfield's Corey Wynant starts third tonight. He's in the 99W, the white and green 99W, paired alongside Chapin's own Paul Niedheiser. Starting off fourth in the 9X. Ryan Bunton starts fifth tonight. He's in the 6R on the inside of row number 3. Followed along by Dylan Tuxorn on the outside. He'll be driving the 9T starting sixth. Rounding out the field from Springfield, Illinois is the 3. That's Austin Odell. Bruns, Standridge, Wynant, Niedheiser, Bunton, Tuxorn, and Odell, your running order here in heat number 3 of 3 for the 410 sprint cars. Street stock drivers, you need to make your way to staging now, please. Street stock drivers, make your way to staging. One heat of street stocks tonight, so modified drivers will be ready for you not too long from now. A constant reminder, if you're making your way down to that concourse area for the bathroom, the bar, the concession stand, we invite you to keep an extra couple of steps away from your neighbors as we try to practice social distancing and keep everyone safe here at the Jacksonville Speedway. And of course, if you are willing and able, we would kindly ask you to wear a mask as you make your way through those front rows and down into the concourse area. Working hard to keep everyone safe and sound so we can continue racing here at the Jacksonville Speedway through the remainder of the season. A little work by everyone leads up to a big difference to keep us moving here at Jacksonville. Corey Bruns, Robbie Standridge, Corey Wynant, Paul Niedheiser, Ryan Bunton, Dylan Tuxorn, Austin Odell. The field of 7 here in heat number 3 of 3 for the 410 sprint cars tonight at the Jacksonville Speedway. Street stocks will be coming up next, followed by modifieds and micros in heat action. As we get ready to go, Bruns and Standridge takes the field around turn number 3. Once again, we remind you, manual flags all around tonight. Our electronic lighting system just a little off tonight as we get ready to go for heat number 3. Clean start in heat number 3 is the 17X's Robbie Standridge jumps up to the early lead, and Paul Niedheiser not wasting any time trying to get the Wynant had a little bit of trouble in the 99. He jumps off the cushion at turn number 4, falls back just a hair back in the pit. Standridge and Niedheiser battling it out 1-2 as we come down turn 3. Trouble for Paul Niedheiser. He wants to the cushion as well, and that's going to allow Corey Bruns as a 6-car. Brian Bunton to make their way up ahead of Niedheiser as Niedheiser falls back to 4th now. Corey Wynant on the tail trying to pick up that position as well. Wynant battling Niedheiser as they come to the start-finish line. Trouble for the 9X here in heat number 3. Robbie Standridge opening up a huge lead on the rest of the field. The race leader comes back around to the start-finish line. Bunton in 6-car moves up to 2nd. Bruns in 3rd, Niedheiser in 4th, Wynant in 5th. 3-car, that's Austin Odell in 6th. And the 19, Dylan Tuxorn rounding out the field in 7th. Niedheiser trying to get around the run to pick up that 3rd spot. He does take them around the start-finish line. It's Standridge, Bunton, and Niedheiser in the top 3 of 7 here now in heat number 3. Really driving up into that cushion right here in the heat. Trying to make up that distance and get back to the front of the pack. He's got his eyes set on Ryan Bunton, the 6-cars. They come back around the start-finish line. But the race leader remains Jeremy Standridge of the 17X. Here comes Niedheiser, though. He's going to spin around to the underneath side of Bunton. Bunton gets up a little high, loses a little bit of grip on turn number 4. And now Niedheiser picks up the 2nd position. Bruns remains in 4th, Wynant in 5th. As Standridge comes back around to the white flag. 1 lap to go for Jeremy Standridge. Robbie Standridge, excuse me, here in heat number 3. number 3 is going to be the 17X of Robbie Standard. We'll get the standard just figured out here one way or the other tonight. Folks, just bear with us. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner of heat number 3. Let's hear it for the 17 of Robbie Standridge. Paul Dienheiser finishes up in second, followed by Ryan Bunton, Corey Bruns, Corey Wynant, Austin Odell, and Dylan Tuxor. The field of 7 in heat number 3. Modifieds, you need to begin making your way to staging now, please. Modified cars, we need you in staging. One heat of street stocks tonight, 8 laps. The running distance, 8 cars on the sheet. We'll hope to see all 8 make the call. Once again, modified drivers, we need you in staging, please. Modified drivers, please make your way to staging. Well, let's go down the running order. The defending champion leads things off in the street stock class. That's the 5T of Terry Reed out of Cerro Gordo, Illinois. He's paired alongside a happy birthday to Mike Jackson. The smooth criminal starts second in the 89. Chet Peaks third in the 72C along with Steve Groach, who may not make the call. He had a lot of trouble during hot laps tonight, and it looks like he may not, as the 47 of Thomas Angelo has moved up to that 4th spot. So we'll move Angelo from 6th to 4th. Andy Gaines starts 5th. Sean Zimmer starts 7th in the Z23, and Rudy de Zaragoza scheduled to start 8th in the 67H. And we are underway for 8 laps here at the street stocks as Terry Reed and Mike Jackson battle it out early. They come around to the start-finish line. Terry Reed holds the lead, followed by Mike Jackson, Chet Peak, Rudy Zaragoza, and Andy Gaines battling it out for the 4th spot as we come around turn number 2. The 47 of Thomas Angelo and the 23Z of Sean Zimmer rounding out the field of 7. Once again, Steve Noach not able to make the call. We saw a lot of trouble with the 22G during hot laps tonight. So a field of 8 is down to a field of 7. Once again, modified drivers, you need to be in staging now, please. Modified drivers, we need you in staging for heats. Terry Reed continues to hold the lead as we come around turns 3 and 4, followed by Mike Jackson. Chet Peak, a little bit of a battle for that 4th and 5th spot between Andy Gaines and Rudy Zaragoza. The 67R holds on to position as we cross the start-finish line, followed by Sean Zimmer and the 47 of Thomas Angelo. Still under green is Terry Reed, who leads this field of 7 here in the 1 street stock heat we have for you tonight, followed by the smooth criminal Mike Jackson. Rudy Zaragoza trying to grab into that 3rd spot as he's battling it out with Chet Peak. They go into the backstretch. Peak holding on, but here comes Zaragoza on the underside as we've got 1 lap to go. White flag comes out for Terry Reed. It's still a battle for 3rd and 4th as Chet Peak holds onto that lead as they cross the start-finish line, but just barely. We'll keep an eye on it as the checkered flag is going to fly for Terry Reed in the 5T. Mike Jackson's going to take 2nd. Let's see how this battle for 3rd and 4th comes out. They come to the start-finish line. It's going to be Chet Peak by a hair over Rudy Zaragoza for 3rd. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner of the street stock here tonight at Jacksonville. Let's hear it for the 5 of Terry Reed. Once again, your running order, Mike Jackson, Chet Peak by just a hair over Rudy Zaragoza, Andy Gaines, Sean Zimmer, and Thomas Angelo. Getting ready for the modified class here tonight, halfway through our heat action at the Jacksonville Speedway. 15 cars on the slate tonight for the modified class. We'll bring you 1 heat of 8 and 1 heat of 7. Eight laps tonight for the modified heats. And let's go down the running order here in heat number 1. Leading things off the 11D is Brian Dively on the pole position, paired alongside the T6. That's Tommy Shepard on the outside, starting second. Derek Carlson starts third tonight on the inside of row number 2. He's in the 37 car, paired alongside Kenny Schrader, driving the white Federated 9. He'll start fourth. Mike Carlson starts fifth on the inside of row number 3. That's the 4A machine. To his right is Russ Coltis, starting 6th in the 9C. The back row is paired up with Guy Taylor in the 15, starting 7th, and Joe Straukas in the 28 will start 8th. Dively, Shepard, Carlson, Schrader, Parson, Coltis, Taylor, and Straukas, your running order. 8 cars making up 8 laps here in heat number 1. Clean start for heat number 1 as Tommy Shepard tries to jump out to that early lead. Kenny Schrader trying to jump up in the front too as well as he tries to battle around Brian Dively on the high side. Schrader has a little bit of trouble, catches that cushion, and now he falls back a spot or two as Russ Coltis tries to get around the 9 cars we come into turns 1 and 2. Derek Carlson moved up to third after that little bump by Schrader, but Tommy Shepard continues to hold the lead. He's in the T6. Dively trying to get the distance as he came hard around the cushion in turn number 4 of the 11D. Carlson in third, Schrader in fourth, Coltis in fifth. The 4A, that's Mike Carson sitting back in sixth. Trouble for the 15 of Guy Taylor is now Joe Straukas moves up into the 7th spot. And now trouble over in turn number 4. Joe Straukas spins around and will bring out a yellow in turn number 4 for the white 28 of Joe Straukas. Straukas had just moved up into the 7th spot, got around Guy Taylor on the last lap. Lost a little bit of control over in turns 4 and got spun around. So we'll get things reset here in heat number 1. Micros cars, keep it open here. We'll need you in staging soon. Micros, you'll be in staging soon, please. Getting the running order reset, Tommy Shepard, Brian Dively, Derek Carlson, Ken Schrader, Russ Coltis, Mike Parson, the 15 of Guy Taylor, and Joe Straukas. Tommy Shepard leads the field as we come back to the race here in heat number 1. A clean restart as Derek Carlson is hot on the tail of Brian Dively trying to pick up that 2nd spot as they come back into turns 3 and 4. Shepard holds on to the lead. Carlson tries to go low on Dively. Can't get the line and slows down as Dively holds on to that 2nd spot. Kenny Schrader back and forth, followed by Russ Coltis. The 4A of Mike Carson, Guy Taylor, and Joe Straukas rounding out the field. And now Dively spins around over in turn number 4. Trouble for the 11D in turn number 4, as that'll bring out another caution here in heat number 1. Dively started off on the pole, moved back to 2nd after Shepard was able to get around him. And now he'll make his way back to the back of the field here in the waning laps of heat number 1. A tough break for the 11D. That'll move Derek Carlson up into 2nd, Ken Schrader into 3rd. Russ Coltis will come into 4th. Mike Parson, Guy Taylor, Straukas will move up ahead of the 15 as we get him lined back up. And then Dively will make his way to the back of the field. All 8 cars remain here in heat number 1 that started. Four laps officially down, 4 to go here in heat number 1. Clean restart as we look to see what Brian Dively can do. He's going to jump up to 7th real fast, and he's going to try to make his way around Joe Straukas here in the back 2 turn. Tommy Tommy Shepard remains the race leader, followed by Derek Carlson and Ken Schrader, your front three of 8. Russ Coltis, Mike Carson, and here comes Dively trying to get ahead of Strauss on the backside, trying to pick up that 6th spot. They come back around to the back 2 turns. Tommy Shepard continues the lead. Here comes Dively trying to get ahead of everybody. He's fighting ahead of Carson now, trying to pick up that 5th spot. Brian Dively moves back to 8th. He's trying to jump up to 5th real fast as they battle around with Mike Carson here in turns 3 and 4. He's got 1 lap to make up distance as Tommy Shepard sees the white flag. Derek Carlson trying to hold on the late push from Ken Schrader. The front 3 come around here to turns 3 and 4. Tommy Shepard up in the cushion. He's going to take the checkered flag here in heat number 1. Derek Carlson will finish 2nd, followed by Ken Schrader, Russ Coltis, Brian Dively, who battles up back up in the 5th in just a few amount of laps after moving to the back of the field. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner of heat number 1 in tonight's modified class. Let's hear it for the T6 of Tommy Shepard. Derek Carlson finishes 2nd, followed by Ken Schrader, Russ Coltis, Brian Dively, Mike Parson, Joe Strauss, and Guy Taylor rounding out the field. Micros Cars, you need to make your way to staging right now, please. Micros Cars, you need to make your way to staging. Let's introduce you to the field here for heat number 2. On the pole, ladies and gentlemen, 25 is Alan Weiser. Paired alongside, starting 2nd in the white, 36. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Kenny Wallace. Dave Weedholder starts 3rd out of Liberty, Illinois. He's in the 05, paired alongside the 78 of Jeff Ray, who moves up as Ryan Blakeman appears unable to make the call. He had trouble in hot laps. Jason Perry starts 5th in the 1. That's spelled out 1, O-N-E. And Steve Tyvett will round out the field. He'll move up from 7th to 6th. Weiser, Wallace, Weedholder, Ray, Perry, and Tyvett. 6 cars here in heat number 2, 8 laps. The scheduled running distance tonight as Weiser and Wallace lead the field around here in heat number 2. The micros getting ready and staging right now. And here we go. Kenny Wallace moves to the inside, trying to get around to the underside of Alan Weiser. He takes a little bit of a slowdown here as they come into the back turn. And Alan Weiser's going to hold the lead after lap 1. Dave Weedholder trying to get now on the underside. Weedholder goes way low, catches on the inside of the tire, and comes back out. He holds onto that 3rd spot as Jeff Ray remains in 4th. The 1, O-N-E, of Jason Perry remains in 5th, followed by Steve Tyler, the smooth criminal. Mr. Smooth, excuse me. Lots of smooth guys here tonight at the Jacksonville Speedway. He sits back in 6th. Back to the race leader, that's Alan Weiser in the 25W. Kenny Wallace trying to hunt him down as they come back around through the turns 1 and 2. Dave Weedholder in 3rd, Jeff Ray in 4th, and the 6-car field. Back to the race for the lead. It's Alan Weiser high in the cushion in turn number 4. Kenny Wallace just about 4 car lengths behind as they come back around the start-finish line. Dave Weedholder not too far behind in that 3rd position. He sits back in the 05 car as the front 3 make their way back into the grandstand area crossing that start-finish line. Jason Perry trying to battle it out and catch up a little bit of distance on Jeff Ray, trying to pick up that 4th spot as they make their way to the backstretch now. We'll keep a little bit of an eye on that as we make our way to the leading laps here in heat number 2. Trouble for Perry as he got slowed down, and now Jeff Ray opens that distance back up. Dave Weedholder back up in that 3rd spot, trying to get Kenny Wallace hunted down as we see the white flag come out for Alan Weiser. 1 lap to go. Weiser, Wallace, and Weedholder, your first 3 here at 6 in heat number 2. Alan Weiser comes out of the back stretch into turns 3 and 4. Weedholder going low, trying to get the run on Kenny Wallace. So let's see what happens. It's going to be a win for Alan Weiser in the 25W, and Kenny Wallace holds on by just a hair for that 2nd position over Dave Weedholder. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner of heat number 2 in tonight's modified class. Let's hear it for the 25W of Alan Weiser. Kenny Schrader holds on for 2nd after a tough push from Dave Weedholder, who picks up 3rd. Jeff Ray finishes 4th in the 1 car. Jason Perry sits at 5th. Steve Tyler rounds out the field in 6th. Micros coming up, 12 on the sheet tonight. We'll hope to see all 12 make the call. 2 heats of 6 coming up for you here tonight. Last class to run heats tonight here at the Jacksonville Speedway. 8 8 laps, the running distance here for the Micros heats tonight. Trevin Littleton leads things off. The defending Jacksonville Speedway champion in the 44 will lead things off, paired alongside Cliff Powell, starting second in the 6th. John Bernard starts third. He's in the 8B, along with Jacob Tipton starting fourth, he's in the 10 in row number 2. Jacob Stewart sits in the 44 S car. He starts 5th to 9 on the inside of row number 3. And Johnny Huddleston rounds out the field. He's in the 6th position in the number 3 car. 8 laps the running distance here for heat number 1 of 2 of the Micros classes. Littleton jumps out to a huge lead, but we're going to yellow it. Randy Sandridge simply didn't like what he saw on the start, and we'll get him lined back up to give it one more try. And here we go. We'll give it a second go for the Micro sprint cars here tonight as we get things going. We get a clean start here in heat number 1 as Littleton jumps out to a huge lead. Cliff Powell sits back in second, but the 10 car of Jacob Tipton trying to run around. Along with that 8 of John Bernard. Bernard moves all the way up to the 2nd spot. He's followed by the 10 of Tipton. Powell and Huddleston slugging it out for 5th and 6th right behind him. And the 44S of Jacob Stewart rounds out the field in 6th. Keeping an eye on that battle for positions 2 through 5. All of those cars neck and neck with each other now as we come back around turns 3 and 4. Littleton in the lead, Bernard in second. The 10th car of Tipton in third, followed by Huddleston and Powell and the 44S of Jacob Stewart. Littleton with a sizable lead over the rest of the field. The 8B of John Bernard trying to hold off Jacob Tipton as they come in the back 2 turns. Johnny Huddleston not too far behind in 4th in the 3 car. Cliff Powell, Jacob Stewart rounding out the field as they come back around in 5th and 6th to start finish strong. White flag comes out, 1 lap to go for Trevin Littleton here in heat number 1. Cars tight for 2, 3, and 4. Bernard, Tipton, and Huddleston still holding on, battling it out. But the checkered flag is going to fly for Trevin Littleton in the 44. Let's keep an eye out for 2, 3, and 4. They're going to hold as they were coming around the last lap. That's the 8B of John Bernard, the 10 of Jacob Tipton, and the 3 of Johnny Huddleston. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner of heat number 1 here in tonight's Micros class, the 44 of Trevin Littleton. John Bernard finishes second, followed by Jacob Tipton, Johnny Huddleston, Cliff Powell, and Jacob Stewart. Let's get you ready for heat number 2 of 2 in tonight's Micros class, ladies and gentlemen. The 122 of Lane Warner draws the pole pill tonight. He'll start first, paired alongside the 09 of Ed Baker. He's on the outside in 2. Hayden Harvey starts third tonight. He's in the 55H on the inside of row number 2, paired alongside the 55S of Darren Stark. Aaron Squires misses the call in the A1. He was scheduled to start 5th. Kevin Powell in the 66 now starts 5th. We've got a field of 5, and we've got a yellow flag before we can even get going.
R122, can you hear me? Wait, please. R122, can you hear me? Okay. White tire, not vanilla. And stop around. White tire right there. Where we go.
We'll get the field reset. Warner, Baker, Harvey, Stark, and Kevin Powell, your running order. Hayden Harvey is the 55 on the inside, the black 55, the white 55 is Darren Stark. We'll do our best to keep those 2 straight. As the field of 5 comes back around to the backstretch, we'll try to restart here at heat number 2. another restart we didn't like. We'll move the 122 back. That's going to move Hayden Harvey up into the front spot. So it'll be Hayden Harvey, Ed Baker, Lane Warner, Darren Stark, and Kevin Powell, the running order for the first 5 here in heat number 2. As we'll give it one more shot. Harvey and Baker lead the field around turns number 3, and here we go, one more try. Randy Standards says let him go as Harvey jumps out to a lead, going into the back 2 turns here in heat number 2. Lane Warner trying to make up the distance real fast to the 122. The 55 of Darren Stark caught on his tail. He's in the 3rd spot, paired alongside the 09 of Ed Baker, who drops from 2nd to 4th, and the 66 of Kevin Powell rounding out the field. It's Hayden Harvey continuing to hold the lead and start-finish line. Warner and Darren Stark have a little bit of a close run here for 2nd and 3rd as they come into the back stretch. Last heat race on the schedule here tonight for our 4 classes at the Jacksonville Speedway. As Ed Baker slows considerably down, we'll see if he can be able to make his way off on his own power, and he is. The 09 is going to drop out of the field. We're down to 4 here in heat number 2. That field is led by Hayden Harvey in the 55H, followed by Lane Warner in the 122, and the 55S of Darren Stark. The 66 of Kevin Powell off the pace a little bit, making his way in the back stretch as the 66 sitting in 4th. Still under green here in heat number 2 for the Micros class. A big lead for the 55H of Hayden Harvey as he comes around into turns 3 and 4. He'll see the white flag on his next time by. 1 lap to go here in heat number 2. Lane Warner sits in 2nd. Darren Stark in 3rd. Kevin Powell in 4th. Coming around turn number 4, it's a heat win for Hayden Harvey in the 55H. A checkered flag win, ladies and gentlemen, in heat number 2. Let's hear it for the 55H of Hayden Harvey.
Alright, so 7:30 green flag on feature 1. Street stocks to start. Yeah, it was only street stocks to start if there wasn't a BB, or if there was a BB. No BB. That'll work. We're good to go.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to wrap things up for us here for heat action.
It'll be 7:30 if it's a 15-minute intermission.
We're going to give you 15 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. So here's the deal. We did not have a B main tonight for the 410 sprint, so we will lead off with the 410 sprint cars. Adam Mackey tells us 410 drivers. You will get running orders here very, very shortly. 410 sprint cars will lead off the feature action tonight, followed by street stocks, modified, and micro. So once again, 410 sprint cars, you will be leading things off in 15 minutes. Adam Mackey says he wants to drop that checkered flag in 15 minutes to get going. Once again, we thank you for attending with us tonight here at the Jacksonville Speedway on a beautiful August evening as the sun is slowly starting to set.
Okay, you guys copy that? Is that no?
All right, Kenny Dobson giving us the final command here. We will run street stocks as scheduled. Bear with us, folks. We'll get through it here all together. So the running order for features, once again, will be street stocks, 410 sprints, modifieds, and micros. Our apologies for a little bit of confusion up here in the tower tonight, but we'll all get through it together. So once again, street stocks, you will lead things off at 7:30.
On this, somebody spend a line that has left.
As you are making your way into the concourse area, we remind you, keep moving through that concourse. We need to keep that area as less congested as possible. And if you're making your way into the grandstand underneath to get something out of the concession area, make your way to the restrooms or into that bar area, we encourage you, please practice that social distancing that we've all been working on for months. If you're making your way down, we encourage you to wear a mask if you have one and are willing. Take care of some of our friends here and some of our older friends here at the Jacksonville Speedway so we can all stay safe and sound and continue to make our way through for racing here into the waning weeks of the summer season. And of course, we remind you every week kind of a work in progress right now here at the Jacksonville Speedway. So we remind you, check things out on jacksonvillespeedway.com or on our social media channels. We are on Facebook, we are on Twitter, constantly updating with any new news as we're able to bring it to you. We were fortunate to dodge Mother Nature here as most of the R word stayed south overnight. So beautiful conditions, a sunny sky and clear skies up above us today. But once again, every week kind of a work in progress, so kind of keep with us here as we'll announce when our next race will be, what classes will be running, all of the details you'll need, that'll be online. And of course, thank you all that are buying advance tickets. That helps our crew up in the front gate. Tommy Cook joining us alongside here tonight, man on the YouTube camera. Tommy, a nice field of 410 sprints tonight. We're really going to have some nice feature action tonight, don't you think?
I'm excited. We've got a lot of the talent that usually runs with us in the most sprint cars here tonight, running an unsanctioned 410 wing sprint car show. Of course, it's always a fan favorite here, Paul Nienheiser in the 9X, looking bad fast in the heat races earlier tonight. A lot of other drivers here tonight as well, including Zach Dahm, who was the only other driver to win on the MOA Sprint Car schedule this far this year, other than Rico Abreu. So a lot of talent here. Man, I tell you what, the Standridges all look pretty fast tonight, the 10S and the 17 in particular. So those are going to be a lot of the cars to watch out for tonight.
Joe B. Miller looking good as well. Tucker Klossmeyer, Chris Urish, Logan Falcon, a lot of cars to keep an eye on tonight. And of course, what a run we had. What a run we had. 10 minutes to that first feature, ladies and gentlemen. Street stock cars, you need to start making your way to staging, please. Street stock cars, Adam Mackey saying make your way to staging. We're looking to go in 10 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, really a lot of fun on that last MOA sprint car race we had here as Rico Abreu was able to hold off quite a run for a lot of guys, including Nienheiser, who had some bad luck towards the end.
Yeah, I know a lot of the fans in the stands that weren't here to see Kenny Schrader and Kenny Wallace were here to see Rico Abreu and Paul Nienheiser duke it out, and that's exactly what they got for about 24 laps. Of course, Paul Nienheiser had to retire on the very last lap after his throttle body came off. So maybe tonight Paul Nienheiser can get that elusive 2020 win at the Jacksonville Speedway. Not that he's any stranger to it. He's won so many times here in 305s and 410s. It's unreal. But, man, he always puts on a show here, and he's looking to do it here tonight as well.
Just a few minutes away, street stock drivers, you need to make your way to staging for feature action. You will lead us off. Street stocks, you'll lead things off tonight. And you talked about that modified field. Kenny Schrader, Kenny Wallace back here tonight. Mike Harrison had a heck of a run last week, a late run, a late surge, running through lap traffic, able to get past some big names. Dave Weedholder looks strong in the heats tonight as well. We should really see a nice feature out of that modified class as well.
I think so, and I know Dave Weitholder in the 05 and Kenny Wallace in the 36 both did not get the results that they wanted last night at the Spoon River Speedway, so maybe a little extra motivation to try and get the checkered flag here tonight, both of them finishing in the top 5, but, you know, anytime you don't get that P1, you always want to get right back at it, and that's what they've elected to do here tonight.
Doug Jenkins telling us that Weedholder won Friday night down at Tri-City. He's watching alongside from Carlinville tonight. Thanks for tuning in tonight, Doug, and everybody tuning in tonight on YouTube as we're able to stream tonight's races to you free of charge. That's a heck of a deal if you're sitting around enjoying a nice little air conditioning. Or maybe, you know what would be the best, I think, best scenario probably hope there would be as Logan Falcon gets a little more heat under that engine in front of you on the grandstand side. Be chilling out in the pool. Maybe you've got a nice little TV set up somewhere under the shady spot and streaming online. That'd be the way to go, wouldn't it?
I think so. I'm usually the guy in the comments looking over, making sure everybody's behaving themselves. I haven't really done a great job of that tonight, so I'm just going to assume everybody is. But when I did check, I see that we're being watched all over this great nation of ours, including all over in Illinois. We seem to be popular in Georgia and Tennessee, and we have some viewers watching us upside down from the land under in New Zealand and Australia. So shout out to wherever you are around the world. Thank you for joining us here tonight at Jacksonville Speedway.
Feature lineups coming our way. We're being told on Race Command, street stock drivers, your time is getting near. We need you to start reporting to staging now, please. Street stock drivers, you need to be making your way to staging now. Brendan Bauman joining us up here in the tower tonight. He was doing a little bit of scoring this weekend. We saw a little bit of picture. He was doing scoring, usually behind the lens, but just a one-man wrecking crew. What can't Brendan Bauman do? Scoring, photos. He'll probably even go walk your dog and make sure it gets home at night.
Water the plants too. He'll water your plants if for the right price, I think. Maybe not. I'm not sure.
Once again, 7:30 the scheduled start time. Adam Mackey is looking to get going for you street stock drivers. Don't leave the man hanging. 7:30 is when we need you, so you could begin reporting to staging now. Once again, street stock drivers, you can begin reporting to staging now. We will follow that by the 410 sprint cars, modifieds, and micros are running order here tonight. Once again, the voice you heard alongside me is Tommy Cook, voice of the MOA Sprint Car Series, powered by Morrow Brothers Ford. Get online to see everything you need to know about the MOA Sprint Car Series. Talented 410 sprint car drivers from across the Midwest and across the country join us on that 410 MOA Series. We'll hope to see them again at some point here in the future, here at the Jacksonville Speedway, but there are several tracks alongside. We invite you to join us on one of them, hopefully here soon in the near future. And once again, we thank you for joining us here tonight, folks. We know it has been quite a summer, quite a spring. We have not got to spend as much time with you as we would like, but we are here tonight, and that is what matters. Once again, we'll hope to be with you here in the next few days. We will tell you all about our upcoming schedule online, Facebook, Twitter, and JacksonvilleSpeedway.com, the best place that you can find all of the information you need to know about the happenings here at the Jacksonville Speedway. Once again, thanks to our guys working fire and rescue tonight, along with Lifestar Paramedic Unit. All of our ladies and crew up underneath the grandstand, up at the front desk. And of course, thanks to all of you buying advance tickets tonight. You help out on the contactless attempts that we're working here to kind of keep everybody from having to touch hands, etc. here as we get things moving and get to racing here in 2020. Once again, street stock cars, you should be making your way to staging right now, please. Street stock cars, you should be making your way to staging right now. Once again, street stock drivers, please make your way to staging. Street stock drivers, we are ready for you in staging for feature action as we are just about completed with track prep, and we'll be ready to go for the first of 4 feature events here tonight at the Jacksonville Speedway. Once again, street stocks, we're ready for you folks. Track prep just about done. We invite you to make your way back to your seats. Feature action getting ready to rock and roll here at the Jacksonville Speedway. I'm very excited to have all the cars we have here tonight. Very, very excited to have all of you fans with us here in the stands tonight. Just about 5 minutes to go, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we're hearing from our guys working the track prep. You've just about 5 minutes to get back to your seats and get ready to rock and roll. Street stock drivers, we will be ready for you. We'll follow that with the sprint cars. We've got one. We need at least a few more. Street stock drivers, let's get moving, guys and gals. Let's get moving up there. Street stock drivers, we are ready for you. Once again, street stock drivers, we are ready for you. Not too many of you over in staging, but we need more of you to get ready to rock and roll for feature action here tonight. Street stocks, we're ready for you. We're going to start rolling them out. Get ready to rock and roll, folks. We're ready for feature action tonight here at the Jacksonville Speedway. So glad you are joining along, whether you're here in the stands with us tonight, out in the pits, or joining on YouTube. It's time for feature racing here at the High Bank Quarter Miles in the heart of Morgan County. 8 cars on the sheet for the feature lineup. We do not expect all 8 to make the call tonight, as we know the 22G had a lot of trouble tonight and did not make the call for heat action. But we'll see what we've got, and let's give you the rundown here tonight. On the pole tonight for the street stock feature from Cerro Gordo, Illinois, the 5T, the defending Jacksonville Speedway champion, Terry Reed, lead things off of the pole position. On the outside from Jacksonville, Illinois, starting second tonight, that's the 67R of Rudy Zaragoza. From Concord, Illinois, the smooth criminal Mike Jackson starts third. He's in the 89 car, the smooth Matt Gray 89 of Mike Jackson, paired alongside the 72C, that is Chet Peak, starting fourth. On the inside of row number 3 is the 25G, that's Andy Gaines starting fifth. Sean Zemer, scheduled to start sixth tonight. He's on the outside of row number 3 in the Z23. Starting seventh will be the 47, that's Thomas Angelo, rounding out what we expect to be a field of 7 here tonight in the street stock feature. 410 sprint cars will be up after this. Sprint cars, you will be up next, 15 laps. The running distance here tonight in the street stock feature. Once again, sprint cars, you can begin making your way to staging. Sprint cars, you can begin making your way to staging. As we are on a scheduled 15-lap run here with a small amount of street stocks tonight here in the feature. 7 cars on the track, and you see the 67R of Rudy Zaragoza has come to a halt on the backstretch. And we'll see if he can get refired as we get ready to go. Giving these street stocks just a little bit of run around the track. Tommy and the guys on track prep said, give us a little bit of run to roll this dirt down. So the street stock cars do a little bit of extra effort. Tommy says, let's get them lined up. 7 of 8 make the call tonight here in the street stock feature. Let's go down the rundown one more time. Terry Reed, Rudy Zaragoza in row number 1. Mike Jackson and Chet Peak in row number 2. Andy Gaines and Sean Zemer in row number 3. Thomas Angelo rounds out the field in row number 4. We're getting ready. We're going to go one more lap around. We have been running manual flags all night long as we've been having some issues with our lighting system here at the Speedway, and now the yellow lights firing off over in turn number 3. Still not seeing any action over in turn number 1, but we'll see what happens. But turn number 3 is fired on for us, and we'll try to get that off before we go to green. We're working to get those lights off, and there we go. And now turn number 1 is fired up. So we're working through a little bit of technical issues here, folks. Just bear with us. We'll get some racing started soon for you here. We've had issues with the lights all night. We've been running manual flags, and now all of a sudden, our lighting systems here in turns 1 and 3 start firing up. bear with us as Kenny Dobson works to get them done. And now Hank Pollock's going to sprint across and see if we can just get it unplugged. If you can't turn it off remotely, just go to the source and get rid of it. And that's going to be our plan here. These lights work remotely, work on wireless access. Once again, sprint car drivers, you can begin making your way to staging, please. Sprint car drivers, please making your way to staging. And now we're ready to rock and roll, folks. Thank you for being patient with us. We are coming to green, coming around. Terry Reed, Rudy Zaragoza. Lead us around, and here we go. Green flag in tonight's street stock feature. 15 laps to go to our first winner of the evening. Terry Reed jumps out to the early lead. Rudy Zaragoza tries to go underneath and take the lead as they come into turns 3 and 4. Mike Jackson, Chet Peak back in 3rd and 4th, followed by Andy Gaines, Sean Ziemer, and Thomas Angelo, as Rudy Zaragoza holds on to the lap 1 lead. Terry Reed up on the high side, Zaragoza on the inside. Here we go again, and we've got a yellow flag. Trouble for the 25, that's Andy Gaines, and he's missing a bumper. Well, it's not missing, it's just barely holding on. Just like an annoying little hangnail you've got hanging onto the pinky. That bumper is not held on by much for the 25 of Andy Gaines as we reach our first caution of the evening here in tonight's Street Stock feature. 25 will drop back to the tails. We get the running order reset for you. And Chet Peak is alongside right in front of us here in the scoring tower in the 72C. So a little bit of trouble for Chet Peak, trouble for Andy Gaines. '72's got a flat tire is what we're hearing out of Race Command. The 72C of Chet Peak as they work to get him moving. Hank Pollock claims a front bumper tonight. That's here on the infield. And now Andy Gaines works to get back in formation as well. We'll get the field reset for you. Terry Reed, Rudy Zaragoza, Mike Jackson, Sean Ziemer, Thomas Angelo, Andy Gaines as we get back to green one more time around. A cool breeze making its way across here on the infield of the Jacksonville Speedway. The sun slowly starting to make its way behind the grandstand. Things darkening up just a little bit. And here we go back to green. A clean restart as Terry Reed jumps out to the lead. Rudy Zaragoza and Mike Jackson second and third as we come into turns 3 and 4. Zaragoza liking that low line. Terry Reed stays high. Reed's going to hold the position as they come across the start-finish line. Mike Jackson just about a car length and a half behind. Zaragoza slowed down into turn number 2. Jackson closes in on the distance just a hair as they come into the back 2 turns. Sean Ziemer remains in 4th. Andy Gaines in 5th. Thomas Angelo in 6th. As we come back to the race below in the front 3, Terry Reed, Rudy Zaragoza, and Mike Jackson. Terry Reed won more times here last year than I've got fingers on both hands. The man from Saragordo, Illinois, one of the race leaders in the nationwide dirt car UMP circuit, holding suit here at Jacksonville in the early laps of tonight's street stock feature. Rudy Zaragoza trying to close the distance as they come to the start-finish line. He'll remain in second as they cross the line, followed by the smooth criminal Mike Jackson. He's celebrating a birthday here. He sits back in third. Sean Ziemer off the pace. He's about 10 car lengths behind. Andy Gaines and Thomas Angelo battling it out for sixth and fifth as we come back to the race lead. Terry Reed crosses the start-finish line. Rudy Zaragoza a couple of car lengths behind him as they come into the back stretch. A little bit of trouble for Mike Jackson. You see some mosquito repellent. Now we've got fire underneath the 89. Fire underneath the 89, and he's going to make his way back to the pits area. And we've got a lot of trouble coming up here. Hold on just a second, folks. Goodness gracious. Tried to get a yellow out to let the fire crews. So we let the fire crew jump across there to go chase down the 89 of Mike Jackson. You saw a little bit of flames coming out in that engine bay. So we're going to get Rudy back into the field as well. Rudy spun out just a little bit in front of us there on the grandstand side. And we'll get the field reset for you. But once again, that caution coming out for the 89 of Mike Jackson. We saw some fire catch underneath on that engine bay. The fire and rescue crew went to go chase him down and make sure everything was all right. 6 laps in, 6 of 15 down here in tonight's street stock feature. Is set. The field is reset as Terry Reed and Rudy Zaragoza now lead a field of 5. Fire crew making their way back around. Will remain in yellow until we can get these guys back here in the infield. Fire and rescue, paramedics always needed here at the Jacksonville Speedway. We appreciate all of those guys' support every week here at the Speedway. Terry Reed, Rudy Zaragoza, Sean Ziemer, Andy Gaines, Thomas Angelo, the field of 5 as we go green. 6 laps down, 9 to go here in the street stock feature as Terry Reed jumps out to another big lead. Rudy Zaragoza's got some distance to make up here as we come into the back 2 turns. Sean Ziemer, the man who now sits third, and the 23Z as they come back to the start-finish line. Andy Gaines and Thomas Angelo slugging it out for 4th and 5th in the back of the field. Coming into the back stretch of the race leaders, that's Terry Reed in the T5 and the 67R, the red 67 of Rudy Zaragoza as they come into the back stretch. Zaragoza trying to run on that inside line, trying to find a means to get around the 5T, hasn't accomplished it yet. He was able to make to a little bit of an early jump in the opening laps before we had to get restarted. But now the T5 has held the lead ever since as we come back around to the start-finish line. Terry Reed holds the lead from Saragordo, Illinois. Here comes Zaragoza trying to find that means on the inside, and he's not going to get it quite yet as we come to the back stretch. slugging it out into turns 3 and 4. They spin around it. Here we go. Reed and Zaragoza neck and neck. And it might be Zaragoza by just a hair as we cross the start-finish line. Keep an eye out. We've got a battle here in the feature of the three-stop class tonight. Rudy Zaragoza in the 67R. Terry Reed in the 5T. Coming back around to turns 3 and 4. It's going to be Reed in the lead now. Reed and Zaragoza slugging it out as Reed goes high. Zaragoza remains low on that line. They come into the back stretch. Neck and neck on the back stretch coming into the back cheap turns. Rudy Zaragoza claimed a win here last season at the Jacksonville Speedway. Terry Reed, of course, the defending champion, won several weeks in a row, including, I think, a 4-week stretch in the street stock features until we just didn't get to see him 1 week. White flag to go, 1 lap to go for Rudy Zaragoza as Terry Reed had trouble. Reed goes to the high side. He's going to have to make up the distance as we come into the back stretch. Zaragoza's got the lead going into turns 3 and 4. Who's it going to be as we come around the turns? It's going to be Rudy Zaragoza grabs the win. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for tonight's winner of our street stock feature from Jacksonville, Illinois, the 67R, Rudy Zaragoza. Always a nice thing to see Rudy Zaragoza pick up a win here at the Jacksonville Speedway. One of the fan favorites in the 67R, ladies and gentlemen. Lots of fans here, lots of hugs as we get ready for the first of 4 features tonight, and what a great way to kick things off here at Jacksonville. Rudy, I will tell you, you had a tough battle tonight with Terry Reed. Terry got caught up in the cushion. You seem to have a good line on the inside tonight. Give us just a little bit of insight into what you were able to see with your car this evening.
Feel good. He said he had the car out last night and he worked on it all night. It feels good. It really was a hard race, but he did win.
Well, Rudy, I think it's safe to say we're all happy to see you have a nice win here tonight. Oh.
He said to tell everybody thank you.
Let's hear it for Rudy Zaragoza, tonight's champion of our street stock class here at Jacksonville.
Who's got the flag, guys? Oh, get your sign, guys. Grab your sign there. There you go. Hold on. All right. Thanks, guys.
We are going to get ready for tonight's 21-car feature lineup here in tonight's sprint car class. What a field we've got for you, and what a way to kick things off tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Rudy Zaragoza grabbing our street stock feature win over the T5 of Terry Reed. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go down tonight's feature lineup here in the 410 Sprints at Jacksonville Speedway. On the pole tonight from St. Louis, Missouri, ladies and gentlemen, the 31 is going to be Zach Dom. Starting second from Springfield, Illinois, on the outside of row number 1, the 10S is Jeremy Standridge. From Springfield, another Standridge starts third tonight on the inside of row number 2. That's the 17 of Robbie Standridge. To his right, from Millersville, Missouri, the 51B of Joe B. Miller starts fourth. From Chapin, Illinois, ladies and gentlemen, starting fifth tonight on the inside of row number 3. That's the 9X of Paul Nienheiser. On the outside, starting sixth, the 47 from Decatur, Illinois. That's going to be Terry Babb. From Bethalto, Illinois, Jacob Patton starts seventh on the inside of row number 4. He's in the 79J. Paired alongside Morton's Ryan Bunton, starting eighth in the 6R. From Paola, Kansas, on the inside of row number 5, that's Tucker Klossfire driving the 27 machine. He'll start ninth. From Elkhart, Indiana, Logan Falcon starts 10th. He drives the 52F. Also from Elkhart, the 77U, starting 11th tonight on the inside of row number 6 is Chris Urish. He's paired alongside Lincoln, Illinois' Corey Bruns, starting 12th in the 42. In row number 7 from Springfield, Illinois, the third Standridge on our sheet tonight is the 01 of Justin Standridge, starting 13th. From San Antonio, Texas, starting on the outside in row number 7, the 42P of Preston Perlmutter starts 14th. From Springfield, Illinois, starting 15th tonight, is the 3, that's Austin Odell. On the outside, also from Springfield, Illinois, the 99W of Corey Wynant starts 16th on the outside of row number 8. Down to row number 9, from Springfield, Illinois, the 57 of George Crawford starts 17th. On the outside, from Lincoln, the 83 of Brett Triplett starts 18th. Down to row number 10, Dylan Tuxhorn starts 19th. He's on the inside of the road. From Pawnee, Illinois, paired alongside Clinton, Illinois' Tyler Shoemaker, starting 20th in the 9T. Rounding out the field would be the 63 of Mitchell Davis out of Auburn, Illinois. He'll start 21st. .25 laps, the running distance here tonight in the 410 sprint cars. Zach Dom, Jeremy Standridge, Robbie Standridge, Joe Miller, Paul Nienheiser, Terry Babb, Jacob Patton, Ryan Bunton, Tucker Klossfire, Logan Falcon, Chris Urish, Corey Bruns, Justin Standridge, Preston Perlmutter, Austin Odell, Corey Wynant, George Crawford, Brett Triplett, Dylan Tuxhorn, Tyler Shoemaker, and Mitchell Davis. The 21-car running order here tonight in the sprint car feature. You might not want to go yet, but Kenny Dobson says all sandwiches are $2 now in the main concession area. But you might want to hold off just for a little bit. We've got 25 laps of sprint car racing to go. Those sandwiches can wait. Ladies and gentlemen, get on your feet. Give our big sprint car drivers a big wave, a big how do you do, and a big yell as we come back around turns 3 and 4 one more time here at the Jacksonville Speedway. 21 cars getting ready to rock and roll here on the High Bank quarter miles in the heart of Morgan County. Flags ready to rock and roll. Drivers in position. Fans, we hope you're in position watching along here at the Jacksonville Speedway or online on YouTube. And here we go. Joe B. Miller trying to make an early push for that race lead as we come around to the other side and got caution early. Caution early over in turn number 4. The 27 Tucker Crossfire caught up in the fray over in turn number 3 as our first caution comes out this evening. A lot of talented drivers here in the 21 car field tonight. Tucker Klossmeyer sitting in the middle of turn number 3 as the cars will make their way underneath to avoid any issues. Paul Nienheiser out there along with the Standridge boys. Joe B. Miller looked very strong in the heats earlier tonight too. Chris Urish, a talented driver, along with Logan Falcon. And many, many more of our local guys. We see a lot of these guys normally. Some of these guys, Austin Odell, Tyler Shoemaker, many of these guys, would also see them in the 310 series locally here most of the season at Jacksonville Speedway. They're going to get the 27 into the infield area. And they'll get him out back into the back of the pack. They work to get Klossmeyer up to speed. He's able to get moving, and he'll make his way back with the rest of the pack here as we get ready to go. Klossmeyer moves to the back of the pack. Starting in 9th, that's going to move Chris Urish up into row number 5 from row number 6 as we get reset. Everybody else on the inside will take a jump up as well. Dom and Jeremy Standridge lead the field, and here we go one more time. Trying to get on a big jump was that 47 of Terry Mapp. He tried to jump in on the outside, couldn't find the line, and we've got yellow again. Yellow comes out for the 9T. That is Dylan Tuxorn, the 9T of Dylan Tuxorn. The white 9T is Dylan Tuxorn. The black 9T is Tyler Shoemaker as we work to keep those two 9Ts squared away for you on tonight's broadcast. As our second caution comes out here on the scheduled 25-lap feature in the Sprint Car Series. Bubba Painter gets Tuxorn pushed off. He makes his way around to catch back up with the rest of the race field. Tuxorn started in 19th. He'll just drop back to the 21st spot. He had moved up a row and had moved up to 17th on the restart, and he'll drop back to the back of the field. Field comes around turn number 4. We'll give it try number 3. A clean restart again here in the sprint car feature. Zach Dom's going to lead a lap. Jeremy Sanders in the 17th. That's it. Robbie Sanders in second and third. Joe B. Miller sits back and forth, followed by the 79 of Jacob Patton in the 9 next to Paul Nienheiser in 6th. He's trying to push his way through. Ryan London in 7th. Terry Down in 8th. 77 Chris Urish sits back in 9th, followed by the 57 Logan Falcon sitting back in 10th. Here comes back to the race for the lead, and the yellow is going to come out for the 57 of George Campbell in between turns number 1 and 2. Third caution of the night comes out for the 57 of George Crawford out of Springfield, Illinois. they get that Boom Saloon 57 moving, Crawford will make his way to the back of the race field, and we'll get reset for another try. Zach Dom, Jeremy Standridge, Robbie Standridge, Joe B. Miller. The 79 of Jacob Patton, Paul Nienheiser, your front six, followed by Ryan Bunton, Terry Babb, Chris Urish, Logan Falcon, the 01 of Justin Standridge, the 3 of Austin Odell, the 42P of Preston Perlmutter out of San Antonio, Texas, Corey Wynan, Corey Bruns, the 83 of Brent Triplett, the 27 of Tucker Klossmeyer, Dylan Tuxhorn, Tyler Shoemaker, and George Crawford make up your running order as we work to get reset one more time. Around the cone we go, and we're back to green. We are keeping an eye back there on the right next to Paul Nienheiser. Strong start, he tries to work ahead of the 79, and he does. Nienheiser moves up to the mid position from 6. Zach Wall remains in race lead. The 17, Robbie Standridge has taken up into the second spot, and here comes Joe B. Miller. We've got another yellow. Trouble in the turn number 1 and 2. That's going to be Dylan Tuxhorn in the 42 of Corey Bruns, as they are tangled up nose to nose over in turn number 1. We can see some significant damage on the front side of the 42. Bent axles on the front end of the 42 as Bubba Painter takes a look at everything, and we'll see if we can get them separated. That is going to be an end of the night to the 42 of Corey Bruns as the hook and ladder comes out to get them back to the pits. A tough start to the night for Dylan Tuxhorn in the 9T out of Pawnee, Illinois. We have seen the Tuxhorn boys have some fantastic races last season in the 305 Sprint Car Series.
79's out for 6 cars.
Early battles for second and third between the Standridge boys, Jeremy and Robbie. Moving it back out, position to position for those two. Paul Nienheiser able to slug his way up to the 5th spot. He was able to get around the 79 of Jacob Patton and the 6R of Ryan Bunton there in the last run of green flag laps as the guys continue to work over in turn number 1 to break up the 42. A lot of trouble there as they're working to get those guys separated. And end of the night for Corey Bruns, the 42 out of Lincoln, Illinois. And there looks like they're going to get the hook on the 9T of Dylan Tuxhorn as well. We started with 21 down to 19 cars. Now here in tonight's sprint car features, we lose Corey Bruns and Dylan Tuxhorn. Zach Dom continues to lead this race, followed by the Standridge boys, Robbie and Jeremy. Joe B. Miller in 4th. Paul Nienheiser in 5th as we work to go back to green. Standridge likes to restart it. Here we go. Zach Dom comes around the start-finish line. The leader of 17 Robbie Standridge trying to get around as we go into turn number 2. Nienheiser trying to battle for that 4th spot on the back stretch. He gets ahead of Joe B. Miller. Miller tries to slide underneath on the inside. Can't hold it. And now Nienheiser's going to move up to 4th. He's chasing down another Standridge. 3 talented drivers battling it out for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Ryan Bunton in 6th. The 79 of Jacob Patton in 7th, followed by Terry Babb in 8th. He's in the 47. Let's get you back to the race for the lead. The 17. Robbie Standridge is taking the lead. He's got a 3-car lead over Zach Dom as they come into the right 2 turns. Trouble over in turn number 4. caution comes out for the 57 of George Crawford, excuse me. Second caution of the evening for the 57. We've also got more trouble over on the backstretch. That looks to be, I believe that is the 47 of Terry Babb on the backstretch. So we are working on two cars during the caution. George Crawford, the 57. What we believe is Terry Babb. He's turned sideways, but we believe that's the 47 we can see behind the water truck there on the backstretch. On the last series of green laps, the 17 of Robbie Sandrich able to get ahead of Zach Daub. He's your race leader as we are under caution. Paul Nienheiser has moved up to fourth, Joe B. Miller in fifth. Keep an eye on those two as we get into the waning laps of this race later on down the line. Ryan Bunton in sixth, the 79 of Jacob Patton sits in seventh, followed by Chris Urish, the 01 of Justin Sandridge, the 52 of Logan Falcon, the 3 car of Austin Odell, and the 83 of Brett Triplett. As we make our way to the back of the pack, it's Corey Wynant in the 99, the 27 of Tucker Klossmeyer, the 42 of Preston Perlmutter, and the 9T of Tyler Shoemaker. That's going to be an end of the day for the 57. George Crawford involved in 2 cautions. That'll be an end of the night for the man from Springfield. We'll go one more time around under caution. We'll go back to green as the next time the race field crosses the start-finish line. Single file restart, Standridge, Daum, Standridge, Nienheiser, Miller, your front 5. As we come back around into turns 3 and 4 and look to go back to green flag racing. Here we go, back to green. Restart is clean, and here we go. Standridge up on the high side. Daum trying to chase it down. They come to the start-finish line. 1 and 2 is Standridge and Daum. Nienheiser moves up to third. Jeremy Standridge is going to fall back to fourth as Joe B. Miller tries to undershot him. Right now, Miller is going to move up to fourth. Miller and Standridge slightly down as they cross the start-finish line for that fourth battle. Ryan Bucket, Jeremy. Now we've got Chris Urish spinning out over in turn number 1, and that's going to bring out a caution. Caution flag comes out for the 77U. That is Chris Urish out of Elkhart, Indiana. He was battling in that run for 4th, 5th, and 6th. Front wheels got up in the air. He came down and spun around on his own power there in turn number 1. They're going to get Urish pushed back off. Paul Nienheiser has slowly creeped up into 3rd spot, ladies and gentlemen. Keep an eye on that 9X out of Chapin, Illinois. Joe B. Miller hanging around in 4th. Jeremy Standridge has dropped just a few spots. He remains in the top 5 in that 10S. He sits in 5th. Ryan Bunton has held that 6th spot in the 6R for quite a while now as he's battled it out with Jacob Patton in the 79J. Logan Falcon has slowly started to creep up this race field as well. Keep an eye on the black 52F as now he has moved up into the 8th spot. He was sitting around 10th and 11th for quite a while as we go back to green. restart, and here they go into turns 3 and 4. It's Robbie Sanders holding on to the race lead, sacked off right ahead of Paul Nienheiser as they come back around the start finish line. Jody Miller comes a little bit off the pace, but he remains in fourth. Hunted moves up into the top 5 now as he's able to spin around Jeremy Sanders to the start finish line. What a battle as Nienheiser's moved into second. Nienheiser on the gas, and he's trying to work that cushion for all it's worth. Trying to slide everything to 17, not going to get it done quite there. As Sanders is still going to hold it at the start finish line and hold the lead. Nienheiser's moved up to second. Jody Miller and sacked off hot on their tail. What a race. As they come into the back 2 turns. Dog trying to go low. Sanders holds on to the lead. Nienheiser goes high along with Jody Miller into the cushion. Lots of few cars off the race lane. He's fit in the 6R. And what a lead we got. Here comes Nienheiser trying to get the 17R in his sights. He's got it as we go into turns 1 and 2. Nienheiser goes high and he takes the lead into the back stretch. Sanders falls back to second. Jody Miller goes back up to third. Zach Don has fallen off the pace. He falls to fourth in the 31. Paul Nienheiser, your race leader, as we come back around. He's going into lap traffic now, getting around Dylan Tuxor. Sanders into Miller now for second and third. Here comes Jody Miller. Jody Miller slides underneath. He should have taken the 6 cars to come back around to the start finish line. Paul Nienheiser has opened up the lead as we get into lap traffic. Jody Miller in second for 17 and Robbie Sanders in third. Zach Don sits at fourth with a 31. Ryan Butler holding on to that top 5 spot in the 6R. He remains in fifth. Here we go. Back to the race leader. That's Paul Nienheiser starting to get way through lap traffic. Jody Miller trying to hunt it down. Trying to reel in the hot fish with the 9X out of Chapin, Illinois. Here comes Joe B as they come into the back stretch. Nienheiser has a little bit of trouble. Wiggle just a little bit on that 42. But he's still going to hold the race lead. Joe B Miller gets high in the cushion. Here they go in the back two. Now he gets around Chris Urish. And now Logan Falcon, the next man up for Paul Nienheiser as they move into lap traffic. Nienheiser and Joe B Miller in the top 2. Zach Dom's moved back up to the third spot. He's in the 31, but a little bit off the pace. Robbie Sanders back in fourth. Ryan Bunton along the 79 and Jacob Patton. Your next 2 in line. Down to the waning laps here in the sprint car feature. What a run it's been tonight. Paul Nienheiser, Joe B. Miller. Zach Dom, your front 3 is now Jeff Dom trying to get through lap traffic and having a little bit of trouble. Paul Nienheiser and Joe B. Miller trying to navigate through the 01. That's Justin Sanders and the 52F of Logan Falcon. And those guys are taking up a whole lot of room, and now they're going to get a line on the outside. Nienheiser tries to get on the outside, trying to get through. Falcon goes down to let him get on the outside and get some room. Trouble on the 10S. The 10S of Standard is going to go on the inside as well, but he's going to go on the inside, and we're still going to Standard lead. Nienheiser and Joe B. Miller in the front 2, Zach Dom in third. And we've got the yellow flag coming out here, folks. Let's see who it's for. It's Logan Falcon, the 52F. Over in turn number 1. Sprint car fans, your race leader right now is Paul Nienheiser. How about that? Joe B. Miller is hot on his tail. As we are in the waning laps of tonight's sprint car feature, Zach Dom sits in third. Robbie Standridge, who held the race lead early, remains in fourth. Ryan Bunton, in that 5th spot in the 6R. Jacob Patton in the 79J sits back behind them at 6th, followed by Chris Urish. Tucker Klossmeyer has moved considerably up the ranks here as we get back to the restart.
Yuri's going to lap down, yes. 77, yes. Maybe lap or 2 before the yellow. Yuri's going to lap down, like lap 2 before the yellow, yes.
Lap Lap 24 and 25 coming up of a 25-lap feature, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on to your seats as we get ready to go. Paul Nienheiser, Joe B. Miller, Zach Dahm, your front three. Standridge, Patton, and Bunton. Follow them up in 4, 5, and 6. Tucker Klossmeyer in the 83 of Brett Triplett right behind them in the top 7 spots. Corey Wynant moving up. Now he sits in 8th. Hold on to your hats, folks, as we get ready to go. A tough break for the 10S of Jeremy Standridge, excuse me. A nice run out of the 10S. He's going to make his way to the infield here tonight. The 10S started second this evening, had been battling in that top 5, top 7 spots all night long. And it looks like a little bit of an early exit with 2 laps to go. Here we go. Hang on to your hats, folks. We're coming around back to green. Paul Nienheiser, Joe B. Miller, Zach Dahm, Robbie Standridge, Jacob Patton, your front 5, 2 laps to go. It's a clean restart for the field. Nienheiser gets a heck of a jump. Here comes Joe B. Miller on the back 2 turns. White flag will fly. 1 lap to go for Paul Nienheiser. Started back in 5th, battled his way up to the front, and it's going to be a checkered flag win for Paul Nienheiser. Joe B. Miller will finish 2nd. Zach Dahm finishes 3rd. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for tonight's sprint car champion, Paul Nienheiser. We'll tell you what, you were excited and rightfully so because nothing came easy tonight in that sprint car race, did it?
Yeah, man, it's been honestly a bit of a struggle here. I've been here the only 2 nights I really felt comfortable all year, so this team deserves a win. Everybody on this race car deserves a win.
These guys never gave up. We kept working on it, put a new car together, and it was a really tricky racetrack. I mean, I really didn't know where to go. Just kind of went where the guy in front of me wasn't until we got to the lead, and then just tried to hang on and be smart from there.
Had a couple of hot guys behind you. Joe B was right on your tail the whole time. And wow, a lot of fun to have you here in Victory Lane tonight, my friend.
Yeah, it's good to be back. Thank you all you fans for coming out on a Sunday. Hopefully we get plenty more racing here the rest of the fall.
We'll hope to see you soon. Paul Nienheiser, ladies and gentlemen, tonight's champion here in your sprint car class at Jacksonville. As we are moving along, and we'll get our checkered flag back to Randy Standridge here in just a minute after photos, let's go down tonight's modified feature lineup. On the pole tonight, the T6, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be Tommy Shepard. On the outside, starting second in row number 1, the 25W will be Alan Weiser. Derek Carlson starts third tonight. He's on the inside of row 2 in the 37. Paired alongside Kenny Wallace. A warm welcome to the Jacksonville Speedway for the man piloting the 36. He'll start fourth. Kenny Schrader starts fifth tonight. He's on the inside of row number 3 in the 9. Kenny Schrader starts fifth. He's in the 9. Liberty's Dave Weedholder will start sixth. He's on the outside of the row in the 05. Starting seventh tonight, the 9C is Russ Coltis on the inside of row number 4. Jeff Ray starts 8 in the 78. He's on the outside. Down to row number 5, Brian Dively starts 9th tonight on the inside in the 11D alongside the 1 car, that's the ONE spelled out 1 of Jason Perry starting 10th. Mike Parsons starts 11th tonight on the inside of row number 6, that's the 4A machine. Mr. Smooth, Steve Tybett starts 12th on the outside, he's in the 36th. Rounding out the field, starting 13th is the 28, that's Joe Straukas on the inside of row number 7. Paired along him is the 15, that's Guy Taylor in the 14. Rounding out the 15-car field is the 22, he's able to make it back out, that's Ryan Blakeman. 20 laps, the scheduled running distance tonight here in the modified feature. Tommy Shepard, Alan Weiser, Derek Carlson, Kenny Wallace, Ken Schrader, Dave Weedholder, Russ Coltis, Jeff Ray, Brian Dively, Jason Perry, Mike Parsons, Steve Tybett, Joe Straukas, Guy Taylor, and Ryan Blakeman, your running order here. 20 laps to go to tonight's modified champion, and here we go, green. Dave Weedholder trying to thread the needle as we go 3 wide with Derek Carlson and Kenny Wallace to start things off. Dave Weedholder jumps up to third very, very quickly, and now he's trying to chase down the T6 of Tommy Shepard to grab that second spot. Alan Weiser, your early race leader in the 25W. Carlson moves back to fourth. It's Ken Schrader and Kenny Wallace on the outside, battling it out, 4th, 5th, and 6th as they come across the start-finish line, followed by Russ Coltis, Brian Dively, Jeff Ray, Mike Carson, Steve Tybett, the 1 car of Jason Perry, Ryan Blakeman, Joe Straukas, and Guy Taylor rounding out your field. Let's go back to the race for the lead. It's Alan Weiser in the 25W on the backstretch. Dave Weedholder now moves up to 6th, getting right in front of the T6 of Tommy Shepard as we come back into the back 2 turns. Derek Carlson remains in 4th. Here comes Ken Schrader in the top 5 and 5th. Kenny Wallace getting the wheel high as we come across the start-finish line in 6th in the 36th. Weiser back to the back 2 turns. Weedholder trying to reel him in slowly but surely. The man from Liberty, Illinois, already grabbed a win this week at Dry City. Tommy Shepard trying to hold off, though. He wants to get that second spot back to right route. T6 comes around right behind the 05 as we come into the back 2 turns. Ken Schrader trying to get around Derek Carlson as they come around the start-finish line. 4th for Carlson, 5th for Schrader, 6th for Kenny Wallace. Brian Dively moves up to 7th ahead of Russ Coltis, who sits 8th in the 9C. Alan Weiser slowly making his way into lap traffic now. Guy Taylor is the first guy he's going to see as they come back around to the back stretch along with Steve Tybett in the 36. Dave Weedholder Weedholder in second. He's trying to hold off Tommy Shepard at every turn right now. Shepard trying to go high, digging into that cushion. Weedholder's going to cut him off at the pass though as they come into that stretch. Alan Weiser starts to make his way around lap traffic. 2 guys down. Joey Straucus the next on his list as they come into the back stretch. Dave Weedholder and Tommy Shepard still slugging it out. What a run for these 2 guys going at each other for second and third. Steve Tybett has a little bit of trouble, and that's going to hold up Tommy Shepard. Weedholder's going to open up a little bit of an edge. We come back to the race leader, not too far ahead of them, and that's going to be Alan Weiser, who's led it from the start right now. Tommy Shepard had a little bit of trouble getting around the 36 as Mr. Smooth and Steve Tybett had some trouble in turn number 4. Shepard got behind him, and now he's off the pace of Dave Weedholder in that battle for second. Moving up is Garrett Carlson and Ken Schrader. Ken Schrader trying to get around, and now Carlson's going to have to get around Steve Tybett. He doesn't have a line, and here comes Schrader. Schrader trying to battle him around. Tybett tries to go low to let the 2 guys get around lap traffic as they come back around into turn number 4. We'll get back to the race to the lead. That's Alan Weiser. He's coming up on the 1 car of Jason Perry and the 22 of Brian Blakeman, the next 2 on his list here in the lap traffic run as they come back to the start-finish line. Dave Weedholder probably about 10 cars off the pace now as he comes back into the back stretch, trying to find some way to make up some time on Alan Weiser. 5 laps to go here in tonight's 20-lap modified feature. Garrett Carlson, Ken Schrader, Kenny Wallace, your top 5 rounding out here. 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Excuse me, that's 4th, 5th, and 6th. As Tommy Shepard remains in that spot for 3rd. Weiser having to thread the needle through some more lap traffic. He gets his way past Perry and Blakeman. Laps waning down here in tonight's modified feature. Micro still to go to round out our 4th-class car for you tonight at Jacksonville. We remain green. The race leader is the 25 of Alan Weiser. Dave Weedholder trying to get past him, but he's got 3 lap cars to get around. White flag comes out, 1 lap to go for the 25W of Alan Weiser. Weedholder in second. Tommy Shepard trying to close the distance now as lap traffic holding up the 05 from Liberty, Illinois. We get back to the leader. He's in turns 3 and 4. He's going to see that checkered flag and to win tonight for Alan Weiser at Jacksonville. Dave Weedholder is going to finish in second place, followed by Tommy Shepard, Garrett Carlson, Kenny Schrader. Making up your top 5, Kenny Wallace finishes in the 6th spot. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for tonight's champion of our modified class, the 25 of Alan Weiser. Alan, a really nice wire-to-wire win for you tonight. The car looked real smooth. You were able to get through lap traffic pretty easily. Tell us about the race from your perspective behind the wheel.
Man, the track was really awesome all night long. I just got to thank my dad, Matt Houston. Man, this car is always really good over here for some reason. Kind of sucks they don't get to have the Summer Nationals over here, but we'll be over there in Fairbury, supporting them over there. So just hopefully everybody can come out, and thanks all the fans for coming out tonight.
Thank you, Alan. Let's hear it once again. Alan Weiser, the nice champion of our modified class. One more to go here tonight at the Jacksonville Speedway.
Thank you.
Wire-to-wire win tonight for Alan Weiser. Smooth run, able to get through lap traffic like a hot knife through butter tonight. Dave Weedholder finished in second. The T6 of Tommy Shepard finished up in third. Your top three. One more to go here tonight at the Jacksonville Speedway. 12 cars on the sheet here for tonight's Micros feature. Let's get you the rundown real fast. Hayden Harvey sits on the pole tonight in the 55H, paired alongside Trevin Littleton, two-time Jacksonville champion here in the Micros class. He's in the 44. John Bernard in the 8B starts third, paired alongside Lane Warner, starting fourth in the 122. Jacob Tipton starts fifth tonight in the 10 car. Darren starts sixth in the 55S. Liberty's Johnny Huddleston starts seventh tonight. He's on the inside of row number 4 in the 3. Kevin Powell starts 8th on the outside. That's the 66 machine. Cliff Powell and Ed Baker in the 6 and the 09 respectively make up row number 5 and 9th and 10th. Jacob Stewart in the 44S and Aaron Squires in the A1 make up row number 6. Last feature of the evening, ladies and gentlemen. So happy you have joined us tonight here at the Jacksonville Speedway. Whether you're out in the stands, out in the pits, or joining along on our YouTube feed, we are so very happy and privileged to have you join us tonight on a beautiful Sunday evening for dirt track racing here in the heart of Morgan County, Illinois. Harvey, Littleton, Bernard, Warner, Tipton, Stark, Huddleston, Powell, Baker, Stewart, and Squires. Your running order here. As we are a couple of cars short to make the feature call here tonight. So we'll get the running order reset, and here we go. Green flag in tonight's Micros feature. Trevin Littleton jumps out to the early lead. Hayden Harvey drops back to second. Lane Warner moves up to third. The 8B of John Bernard drops back to fourth. And here comes Jacob Tipton trying to find a speedy line up on the fifth spot. He's in that bright blue 10 car. Johnny Huddleston right behind them in the 3 car. He's followed up by Cliff Powell and the 66 of Kevin Powell. 55S of Darren Stark makes his way into the infield. He sticks out just a little bit. He'll come back into the middle of the track. Littleton, your race leader. Hayden Harvey, Lane Warner, and the 10 car of Jacob Tipton, who's moved up to fourth. Johnny Huddleston now in that 5th spot as we've got a tight little battle for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. John Bernard not too far behind. He sits back in the 6th spot. The race leader remains Trevin Littleton, the white and blue 44. A 2-time champion here at the Jacksonville Speedway in the Micros class holds on to the early race lead. Back in that battle of the pack for everybody coming through 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. It still remains Hayden Harvey in the 55H. Jacob Tipton, though, has moved all the way up into the 3rd spot, though. He's in that 10. He's trying to make a play for 2nd to sneak number around turn number 4. Lane Warner moves back to the 4th spot. Johnny Huddleston moves up to 5th, and he's trying to get into that 4th position. John Bernard still remains back in that 6th spot, not too far behind. Trevin Littleton starting to get into a little bit of lap traffic here. The race leader comes back around into turns 3 and 4. Hayden Harvey remains in second. Tipton trying to hunt him down as they come into the back 2 turns. Tipton's got a nice line of steam as he's trying to catch up with that 55-8 there. Wheel to wheel as they come around the start-finish line. Tipton had just an edge over him as they went on the lap. Lane Warner remains in fourth. Johnny Huddleston in fifth. Whoa, we got a lot of trouble there for the 10 car. Tipton got just a little out of control. Caught up on that lip in turn number 4. Spun around, and we're going to bring out the yellow caution. And that is the 10 car of Jacob Tipton in front of us here on the grandstand side. He had a whole head of steam trying to get ahead of Hayden Harvey for that second spot. Got a little too high to turn number 4, caught that lip coming off the turn. Just a little bit airborne. That could have been a lot worse, and thankfully it wasn't. He spins out, and now he's back to join the race field. A heck of a job tonight by all of our guys here on the infield working manual flags tonight, as our electronic system has been a little bit on the fritz. Guys doing a little extra effort here tonight, running manual flags all evening. And we've got a muffler hanging out over in turn number 4 as well. Trevin Littleton, the race leader. Hayden Harvey in second. Lane Warner will move up to third after the caution. Johnny Huddleston. We're coming to green, back around. Littleton, Harvey, Warner, Huddleston, Bernard. Your top 5 out of 8 cars still moving tonight here out of 10 that started in the micro feature. Cliff Powell, Kevin Powell, and the 44S of Jacob Stewart round out your field in 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. Littleton, the race leader, remaining here as we get into waning laps of tonight's micros feature. 20 laps the scheduled driving distance tonight as Hayden Harvey trying to chase down our 2-time champion. Lane Warner back a few cars off the pace. He sits in third. Johnny Huddleston creeps up into the 4th spot. John Bernard trying to hold on to a top 5 finish here tonight. Littleton slows down just a little bit coming into turn 4. Harvey closes a little bit of a distance on, but we'll see what Littleton can do. The 44 keeping out low line. Harvey trying to run high as they come back around into turns 3 and 4. Here we go. Oh, trouble for the 55H. He gets into turn 3 and 4. Now he spins out. Makes a little bit of contact with the wall. We're going to go yellow. Guys will check out the 55H. That is Hayden Harvey, who really had a nice little run trying to catch up to the 44 of Trevin Littleton. Got high up on that cushion in turns 3 and 4. Made a little bit of contact with the wall. Got a little bit out of control. Came back down, spun out. The back end just ever so slightly tapped in to the barriers here. Guys trying to get him pushed off the wall, see if they can pop him into gear to get him moving. We'll get the cone back on the track here in just a second. They get Harvey off the track. A tough break for the 55H. As we're having a little bit of trouble even getting him there. You can see a flat tire over on the right rear side. Resetting the race order for you now. It's going to be Trevin Littleton, Lane Warner in the 122, Johnny Huddleston in third, John Bernard, Cliff Powell, Kevin Powell, and Jacob Stewart. Coming to green, waning laps here, and tonight's final feature of the evening for you at the Jacksonville Speedway. Still under green, Trevin Littleton remains your leader. Wire-to-wire run right now for the 44 car as Lane Warner sits in second place to 122. He has several car lengths off, and we've got another caution. That's going to be the 66 of Kevin Powell having trouble in turn number 4. You see a little bit of mosquito repellent coming out of the backside. Field reset, track is cleared. We're going to come back to green next time around. Cars started tonight, 6 cars remain here in the last laps of tonight's Micros feature. Trevin Littleton, Lane Warner, Johnny Huddleston, John Bernard, Cliff Powell, Kevin Stewart, Jacob Stewart, excuse me. As we've got 1 lap to go. Trevin Littleton the leader as we all see the white flag. Last lap of the night here at the Jacksonville Speedway. Checkered flag is going to come out for Trevin Littleton, tonight's Micros winner.
I don't trust him. No.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for tonight's champion here into the Jacksonville Speedway Micros class. It's the 44 of Trevin Littleton. Trevin, you've been here a lot in Victory Lane. It's not a new place for you, but I'll tell you what, it's nice to see you back here in Victory Lane tonight in Jacksonville.
Yeah, it's our first time here this year, and glad we could get it done. I felt like we were pretty strong in the beginning of the race, and then one of the people that helped me told me to go to the top in this turn because it was faster and it worked out for me.
Yeah, you kind of slowed down there just a little bit, but still able to hold on to a wire-to-wire win tonight. Who helped get you here this evening?
My mom and dad, Jeff and Brian, Littleton Storm and Timber, Mason Sound, Bills West State, Arnell Truck Repair. Without them guys, I couldn't do this.
Thank you very much. Once again, your champion in tonight's Micros class. Let's hear it for the 44 of Trevin Littleton. That is going to wrap up our program here tonight at the Jacksonville Speedway, ladies and gentlemen. We remind you as you make your way out, please drive home safely this evening, no matter where you go or how you are getting there. We will keep you abreast of our next race schedule online. Check us out at Jacksonville Speedway. Check us out on Twitter or Facebook at Jacksonville Speedway as well. We'll figure out what classes and what nights we'll be able to race here in the next few days. Kenny will keep you up to date on everything. Once again, as we continue to try and get races in this season, we remind you, buy your tickets advance if you can online. And what a fun night it's been here in Jacksonville. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Brian Shoemaker on behalf of Kenny Thompson, all of our crew on the infield, Randy Standridge, the ladies on the scoring tower. Thanks to Adam Mackey for being here tonight as well. Cody Kitzelman and our guys working fire and rescue, along with Lifestar Paramedic Unit. To all the ladies working up front, thank you so very much for your time. Everybody back in the bar, in the cafeteria, and more. It takes a crew of millions to make things go here at Jacksonville. We will see you hopefully sooner than later. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, we are signing off for the evening. No matter where you go or how you get there, please drive home safely.